Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Hasbro's Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Swerve. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here we have the peg hook hole holder. And then Autobot logo, Autobot Powerglide, Takara Tomy, a little sliver of a window right there. And then it runs into the big window on the front of the packaging that shows most of the figure. It doesn't show all of it. I mean, if you turn it that way, it does. But anyway, so he's an Autobot, more than meets the eye. And he transforms from robot to plane in 20 steps, and it's for ages 8 and up. Some nice robot mode artwork here over some nice alt mode artwork here. It does not wrap around to this side, but here we have like some of the primes there and their prime symbols, and till all are one. Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class. Then on this side we have the same artwork there from the front. Transformers Age of the Primes Autobot Powerglide. On the bottom we've got small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and includes figure and 2 pieces, which back in the day were accessories. Autobot logo, Autobot Powerglide. Some nice, what I'm figuring is digital renders of the figure in both modes, and then it's showing some of his special features there. Transforms again in 20 steps. More than meets the eye, authentic. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole. If they don't belong there, don't give it to babies. That number and Hasbro print, also a barcode. And assortment numbers if you need that kind of thing. And there you have it, my friends. That completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure in his alt mode and accessories. And first up, we have the handy dandy instruction manual, Autobot Powerglide, Autobot symbol, Transformers Age of the Primes 8 and up, and retain instructions for future reference. Some symbols down there at the bottom. On the inside, the instructions are clearly illustrated and printed, and for the most part, easily understood and able to follow, mostly. And I'll get to that when I do transformations. So there's that piece. Here is his pistol, and I do believe we've seen this before. Maybe not in silver. Maybe in silver. I don't remember. But I think one of the Bumblebees came with it. Might have been retro carded. Might have been 86. I don't know. But nice molded details. And I could be wrong about that. It may not. But I think it did. But nice silver paint. Nice molded details. And overall, you know, it looks pretty nice. Then next up, we have an accessory from one episode of the show where he was playing an alien in Hollywood. And the eyes are all funky, because that's how they're supposed to be. And, you know, I mean, it has nice molded detail in it. It looks nice. It looks like, you know, the mask from the episode of the series. Now let's take a look at the figure himself in his alt mode. And first of all, I have to say, you know, it's not perfect. It's not the best, but it's the best we've had, at least in a while, because that Power of the Primes one wasn't great. So as far as the paint apps go, it's got some silver there for the windows. He's got some Autobot tampos on here. He's got a paint app, a silver paint app with a blacked out logo on it to throw back to the reveal the shield stuff, but it, you know, it doesn't reveal anything. It's just there purely to throw back to that. Not that that was my favorite thing anyway, but you know, it's nice to show. It's nice to see they're you know, reaching back into the nostalgia pit a little bit more. So that pretty much handles the paint apps. The sculpt on it, I mean, you know, just like most Transformer planes, if you look at it from the top down, it looks pretty good. From the side, not as bad, but on the bottom, you know, obviously this is arms and legs, so you can see robot bits. And you know, I'm not super enamored with this fold down piece for the hinge, and yes, that is how, according to the instructions, it's supposed to go all the way. But I guess if you wanted to, you could fold them out so you get a little like angled wing if you wanted to do that. So, you know, overall, I was like, you know, it's okay. It's nicer than we've had before. As far as storage, you know, it would be nice if you had two guns where they could go on the wings, and you know, you can do it like that, but because there's only one, you don't. Now on the back of the mask, you can see there's a little like clip there, and just for storage purposes, this fin right here on the gun, you put the mask on there and then put the handle in this port right here, and all his stuff stores on him in his alt mode. So there you have it, my friends. That is a look at the figure in his alt mode. It's time for alt mode comparisons, and here we have Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Powerglide with the Transformers KO Power of the Primes Legends Class Powerglide, and the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Warpath. For our last set of alt mode comparisons, here we have Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Powerglide with the Transformers Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee and the Amazon exclusive War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader Class Alternate Universe Optimus Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the comedy portion of our show where I attempt to transform this Transformer. So first of all, let's just get the accessories off and get them out of the way. We won't need them for the rest of this segment. And let's see if I can remember what I'm supposed to do with it. I've only done this twice. So, and I'm going by memory. I'll get the instructions out if I have to. But first of all, let's go ahead and take care of this part. And you basically just turn his face around. And once you get it straight, the little gun here on the end, you push in. Now, the first time, even following the instructions that I transformed this guy, it was not clear to me personally, your mileage of course may vary, that you pull just this piece up to transform the guy. But that's how you do it. Instead, I almost, broke his head off trying to pull the whole head up. So, that's on me. So next up, let's go ahead and fix the arms. And they're tabbed in. I was just trying to pull it straight out and I forgot. There's a tab right here. So you have to kind of open the hand up, and it's an open slot for that. So, and then you can straighten it up and flip the hand out, and we'll get to the rest of it when we get it in its other position. So same thing on this. And that one wants to stick, so we get the handy dandy tweezers out and get that going. For the wings, let's go ahead and what do? We rotate like that, and then up it goes, and there's like an open area right there for it to go. Then rotate the arm around, and then it is in the proper position. So same on this side, rotate the wing a bit and then rotate the arm, and there you go. That part is almost done. We go to the back here and we want to unclip this piece, and it will go all the way up, and you see there's a slot right here, there's a tab right there. So we want to put that tab into place and then put that down, and that's not quite all the way in place, is it? Yeah, I guess it is. I thought it clipped the wings in a little better than that, but it doesn't. I don't think. Alright, so there's that piece. So let's go ahead and turn the tail fins down and rotate them around. And you can flip this out now, or you can flip it out. Well, I guess you can't flip it out back there, can you? But you go ahead and flip that out. Now these pieces on here can be finagly sometimes. And what it is, it's a pin. Well, it's not really a pin. It's a joint right here. And you just kind of push it down, and then it will lock into place. It's got a tab on it right here, and then there's a slot right behind it there. So we'll go ahead and I'll try to put it in place. And then when you've got that in place, you can push these tail fin pieces up and then tilt that back in, and that becomes the top of his foot. And there you have it, my friends. Powerglide all transformed. Let's take a look at the figure in his robot mode. And we don't really need to take a look at the accessories because we've done that. But, you know, I'll show you how to use them on here when it gets to that. Now, as far as his deco in his robot mode, you can see it's got some nice silver for his face, blue for the eyes, and just, you know, like this gray plastic here for his mouth covering. It's got the silver dot here, Autobot Tampo here. It's got some paint here. And I forgot to mention it in the alt mode, but he's got some silver paint here around the engine turbines as well. And, you know, the reveal the shield that we've already kind of talked about. And, you know, I'm not real enamored with this piece, but again, it's better than some of the stuff that we've had in the past for this character. So as far as his articulation goes, you do have to untab the head a bit, and he will do the full Exorcist, and the head's a little wobbly, but not really in an articulation kind of way. At the shoulders, 360 degrees of rotation, and it's a very tight joint on mine. Also, he can raise his arm up that high, which is more than 90 degrees. He does have a cut right here above the elbow, I guess mid bicep, for a 360 degree rotation. At the elbow, approximately a 90 degree bend. For transformation, the wrist does bend down, so if you want to count that as articulation, you can. I do not. Cut at the waist, 360 degrees of rotation there. At the hips, he gives you that much of the splits because the wing hinges there get in the way. But wow, does he kick forward. Gee whiz. And back like a mule. It's a cut at the upper thigh on a mushroom peg. 360 degrees of rotation there, and mushroom peg up here on this bicep swivel as well. It's got a single hinged knee, and mine is really stiff or tight, however you want to call it, and it's approximately a 90 degree bend there. And then at the ankle, there's no tilt. He's got some slight rocker in and out. Well, more than slight out, but slight in. And I guess you could kind of say he's got some ankle swivel there too. And it'll go that far. And it'll go that far. So there's that. Now, in order to use his mask, you do have to pull out the gun. The chin gun, I guess, even though it's not on his chin here, but it's on the jet mode's chin. And roll the face around just like if you were transforming it. And then once you get it all the way around to where that's showing, push the gun back in, and then that same clip on the mask that you use to clip it to the gun, you clip it right here in the middle. And there is that. And it just pulls off if you don't want it on there, and you just rotate the faceplate back around. That's too much. And then put the gun back into place. Another feature that he has is his chest opens up, and you can see, maybe you can see it, but we'll get the handy dandy pin light out to help us see it. You can see from another one of the episodes, he's got the heart in there. So that's pretty cool. A little bit of a paint app on that would have been kind of cooler, but you know, it is what it is, I suppose. And then as far as his gun goes, you just hold it in his hand. I suppose you could post it in like right here at the top of the wings, but that would look kind of weird to me. So there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure in his robot mode. It's time for my favorite part of a Transformers review, robot mode comparisons. And here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Powerglide with the Transformers Power of the Primes knockoff Legends Class Powerglide and the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Deluxe Class Warpath. For our last set of robot mode comparisons, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Powerglide with the Transformers Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee and the Walmart exclusive Netflix War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. For final ramblings on the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Powerglide, I have to say it's great to be one more step closer to finishing out the mini-bots. We've only got Tailgate left now, or I still have to get Swerve in hand. I'm waiting on it to come in. But, so I'm counting as I already got him. But we'll get a review up for him soon. But, you know, Tailgate, which they just announced and opened pre-orders on, and we are finally going to have a complete mini-bots in the, you know, together in the same scale, I think, for the first time since G1. So, that's cool. I really like that. I'm excited about it. I want to get those finished because I really want to see what they're going to do next. And they hinted on a live stream that the throttle bots would be next. So, that's great. And you know, I hope they don't make them all deluxe. Because, what's his name? Wide Load, the dump truck in there, he's, you know, at least in the comic book, he was bigger than the others because he, you know, was a dump truck. So, I hope they take that into consideration when doing the throttle bots. And I don't know exactly how they're going to go about doing Goldbug. We have had a Goldbug already in the modern line, or at least since, you know, War for Cybertron started. So we have had a Goldbug. It was on that War for Cybertron Trilogy Netflix Bumblebee mold with a new head and new paint on it, where he's gold instead of yellow. But, you know, he turns into the Volkswagen Beetle proper, not the stylized version of the 86 version, or the super deformed, whatever you want to call it, which I know matches up to the original line. But, you know, that Target exclusive, it was in Target exclusive 4-pack, and I think it was Creatures Collide. So I was really excited to get that because, you know, I used to like Bumblebee when I was a kid, and you know, it was exciting that they updated him to a different character. So I always liked Goldbug, Bumblebee. I won't say he was my favorite character, but you know, he identified, I guess, more with Bumblebee because that's what kids were supposed to do. They were supposed to identify with the Bumblebee character, whether it was in the comic books or in the cartoon. So it's going to be nice to finally complete this set, because we've been working on it since, when did Siege start? 2019, I think. Yeah, because Earthrise started in 2020. So yeah, so since 2019, it's taken us 6, 7, so I guess 8 years to complete it. And that's, you know, if they get Tailgate out on time, which I'm sure they'll get it out sometime this year. So that'll be great to finally complete that. I'm one step closer to, I guess, being done with Transformers. And I don't want to make it sound like, you know, I hate collecting Transformers now, but it's just a lot of the stuff that Hasbro is putting out is not stuff I want personally. And I'm not saying, you know, oh, they're taking up valuable space in the line that could be used to make characters I want. No, I'm not saying that, because I like for, you know, when they put out stuff from other cartoons and stuff that I'm not really trying to collect, it helps my wallet a little bit. So there is that. But you know, I like this Powerglide, and then he beats the hell out of that Power the Primes Powerglide. That thing was, well, mine, of course, I missed it when it came out originally, and I picked up a KO off of AliExpress, or yeah, because I don't think Temu had it, so it was AliExpress, or maybe it was Wish, and that I picked it up on, and it was not great. And you know, part of that was it was a KO, and part of it was I don't think the toy was all that great to begin with. So there is that. But this Powerglide, he's nice. You know, there's maybe some issues with the alt mode, but overall, I think it's pretty good. And you know, the robot mode for me, that's where it's at anyway. I do still like for my Transformers to transform if I ever, you know, for whatever reason feel like transforming my Transformers. I can do that. So I'm not really looking to get into like the YOLO Parks or anything like that, or MDLX, the stuff that doesn't transform. Just, it's not that I don't like the stuff. It looks nice, especially in the robot mode, which is the mode that counts the most for me. But if it's going to be a Transformer, I like for it to transform. And that's not to say I won't ever collect a Transformer that doesn't transform. I do have, you know, a handful of Blokies. So there's that. And you know, I may try a YOLO Park just to see how it is, to see if I like them or not. But MDLX, nah, that's out of my price bracket for Transformers. So there is that. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's our wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.